नित्यानन्देश्वरसमारम्भां नित्यानन्देश्वरिमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. I welcome all of you with my love and respects. I welcome all the devotees, disciples, Samajis, Satsangis, Sri Mahans, Tanedar Kotari, sitting with us all over the world through Nithyananda TV, Sadhana TV, and two-way video conferencing, having Nayana Diksha, sitting with us all over the world. Seattle Adinam, Toronto Adinam, Phoenix Adinam, Bogota, Colombia, Indrani, New Jersey, Trinidad, Tobago, Warrington, UK, Hyderabad, Guptakashi, and lot more cities. With this now, I welcome all of you with my love and respects. I first want to tell you guys, that I am starting this new tradition of having two satsangs, morning and evening both, so that I'll at least deliver 400 satsangs this year. Instead of 365, at least 400. And I'm making these two satsangs as a tradition because see, Mahadeva very clearly says in Agama and Tantra both, first and foremost, my responsibility is keeping the body healthy, so I'm letting the body adjust itself to its natural biological clock. Like when it feels like eating, let it eat. When it feels like lying down, let it lie down. I'm leaving it to it. Yesterday night till 3:30, I was sitting and working. Many of you would have even got likes from the Facebook and chatting and all that. Because I'm letting the body to create its own rhythm and its own biological clock. Actually, that is what now I am leaving it to the body. When it feels like lying down, I let it lie down immediately. When it feels like working, I let it work as long as it wants. Actually, it is working more number of hours when I gave that freedom to the body. So I'll make sure at least 400 satsangs are delivered in this year. And of course, I already committed all the 400 powers, the whole science I'll reveal. Not just science, I'll start even doing initiations, means making those powers as an experience in your system. Let me enter into today's subject. I have just few more things to share about seeking. Understand, seeking reorganizes, rejuvenates your inner image. It beautifully evolves a very powerful inner image, very powerful outer image, very powerful life image, living with the people in whom seeking is awakened is Kailaya, Tirukkailaya. Really, that is Kailasa. Living with the people in whom seeking is awakened is Kailasa. And creating more and more people whose Pratyagatma Chaitanya, individual consciousness, is awakened, whose inner image is aligned to seeking, whose inner image is grown out of seeking. Understand? Seeking is the Hindu grand narrative. Before expanding on this new word, which I uttered, the Hindu grand narrative, I wanted to acknowledge, thank Sri Rajiv Malhotra. It is from his article I picked up this word, the Hindu grand narrative, and the concept of Hindu grand narrative. I wanted to acknowledge and thank him. Of course, I wanted to thank him for all the great work he is doing, and especially for this great article, Hindu grand narrative. The word and the concept, both, is from Rajiv Malhotra. I really wanted you to understand the Hindu grand narrative. Understand? First, you need to catch the word grand narrative. It means every civilization has a collective identity, sometimes artificially created with integrity, sometimes artificially created without integrity. Please understand. Artificially created with integrity, artificially created without integrity. If I had to give an example, Krishna as a grand narrative. Surely ISKCON has created it beautifully, but with integrity. They have not told any lie about Krishna. They have not told any lie. They worked very properly, they created. Maybe the artificial word is not the right word. I should use that. Organized. They created in a very organized way. Krishna as a grand narrative for their organization, but with integrity. They did not miss integrity. And organized way created grand narratives but without integrity. 10,000 names I can say. Understand? The grand narrative is the collective inner image Each civilization creates their own grand narrative. Each civilization adopts their own grand narrative. Sometimes the grand narratives just evolve spontaneously and get followed. Sometimes the grand narratives are very organized way propagated and followed. A spontaneously evolved grand narrative is Shirdi Sai Baba's grand narrative. With no organized effort, just spontaneously the grand narrative started and it has spread all over the world as Shirdi Sai movement. Organized way, but with integrity, created is Bhagavan Swaminarayan, Krishna, grand narrative of Krishna as per ISKCON. It's all organized way it is done. I should not use the word artificial. Organized and with integrity. They have not told any lie about Swaminarayan, or they have not told any lie about Sri Krishna. Whatever ISKCON declares and claims about Krishna is completely truth, including their idea of he is the supreme. Because please understand, anybody experiences the ultimate through a window, he feels his window is also supreme. Through a window, if you see the sky, by and by you feel that window frame is also the sky. And through any window, you experience the sky. You are given freedom to declare that window is supreme. You are not given freedom to say there is no other window, but you are given a freedom to say that window is the supremost. And so because that freedom is available already in Vedic tradition, even they are declaring Krishna is the God, ultimate God. I'll say they are integrated. They are integrated. Only they don't have a right to say that there is no other door, which they are not saying. I don't see them saying there is no other door. But they say that Krishna is supreme door. That is perfectly all right. In Hindu tradition, we are very clear. Praising, in the level of praising and promoting, exclusivity is allowed. Only you have no right to deny that there is no other possibility. That right Vedic tradition does not give, and Vedic tradition does not accept that. Vedic tradition is very clear that you have no right to say no other door exists, no other possibility exists. You have no right to say there is no other supreme possibility. How many supreme, most superlative degrees you add are the infinity of superlative. That same thing somebody can add for their ishta. That is the beauty of our Vedic tradition. So with integrity, organized, but with integrity, the grand narratives of ISKCON and Bhagavan Swaminarayan movement, all that was created. Artificial, but without integrity. I can give you 10,000 grand narratives of that example, which I don't want to say the names now. Each civilization has their own grand narrative, and each generation, based on their vested interests, evolves, develops, alters expands, shrinks, edits their grand narratives. Understand, you need to understand this. Fighter can use Krishna as a grand narrative from a different context. A lover can use Krishna as a grand narrative from different context. So the different contexts set as per the requirement of the time, the living visionaries of the society, either in the field of spirituality or politics, the decision makers, the rulers, they evolve their own grand narratives. And the grand narratives exist in the society is also altered and given a different context. For example, the whole Shaivism in Tamil Nadu, Jnanasambandar is the grand narrative. In course of time, during each era, people have given a different context to Jnanasambandar and understood. At some point, his devotion was the grand narrative. At some point, the way he demonstrated the courage and strength because of his devotion. So same Jnanasambandar is celebrated as a grand narrative from different contexts. Sanatana Hindu Dharma had multiple grand narratives, I tell you. Each of the sampradaya in Sanatana Hindu Dharma is independently complete and equipped to make an individual enlightened. Each of the sampradaya, please understand, each of the sampradaya in Sanatana Dharma is completely equipped with a grand narrative, technique, method. Actually, you can't call Hinduism as a religion not because it lacks something. Every sampradaya of Hinduism is a religion. In the West, what you define as a religion, what all they have, all that each tradition of Hinduism has. That is why I should say that it is a encyclopedia of religions. All major countries have their grand narrative. All major civilizations have their grand narrative. Based on their need and time, some grand narratives are built with integrity and some are built without integrity, but they have one. Even atheists in Tamil Nadu try to build a grand narrative of Thiruvalluvar. But one good thing is, we have tons and tons of documentation that Thiruvalluvar is one of the Saiva saint. Even though they try to distort his identity, try to take him out of Shaivism, The moment these fellows are gone, these atheists who are trying to take away the identity from Valluvar, the moment these guys are gone, he will get back his identity, but all the monuments built for him will be useful for us to recreate the real grand narrative of Thiruvalluvar. வள்ளுவ நாயனார் மயிலாப்பூரில் பிறந்து சைவவேளாளர் குலத்திலே பிறந்து வளர்ந்த திருநீரும் முழுநீரும் ருத்ராட்சமும் தரித்த தொண்டைமண்டல ஆதீனத்தின் குருமுதல்வராகிய ஆதிநாதரால் தீட்சை செய்து வைக்கப்பட்டதனால் தன்னுடைய முதல் குரலிலே ஆதி பகவன் என்று குருநாதரை புகழ்ந்துரைத்து வழிபாடு செய்த ஞானி. I'll translate in English. He was born and brought up in this is introduction, exact introduction of the Thiruvalluvar from a oldest available document about Valluvar. From that I am reading it out. That Thiruvalluvar was born and brought up in Mylapore from Saivavelalar family, and he always lived the life of Bhasma and Rudraksha, and because he was initiated by the founder of Tondemandala Adinam, Adinatha Jnanaprakasa Desika Paramacharya Swamigal, who is the incarnation of Mahadeva himself. In his first verse, he salutes Adi Bhagavan. And the Adinam means the Gurupita of the Valluvar community is Tondemandala Adinam. That Adinam's the Gurumudalvar, the founder, is Adinatha Swamigal. Still now, with that same name he is worshipped, and the oldest palm leaf of Tirukkural was discovered in that Adinam only. It was stored and still they own it. So, soon we will reclaim his identity and bring that grand narrative back. So this grand narrative is one of the most important thing to guide the existing civilization or to bring any revolution in the civilization, or to guide the flow of the civilization, or even to revive any civilization. For anything, you need a clear-cut grand narrative, so that your inner image can be beautifully aligned. If I have to tell you the truth, my grand narrative was Arunagiri Yogeshwara and Annamalai Swamigal. All the time I will remember only these two. Any practical actions, Annamalai Swamigal. Any of this mystical inner space, Arunagiri Yogeshwara. If I have to move the mountains or do something great, then immediately fall into Arunagiri Yogeshwara's space. It will be done. We will win the game. And any ordinary action, facing things, first thing I will think, at this moment, how Annamalai Swamigal will respond. That is the way I grew up. Till the age of 12, my grand narrative was Arunagiri Yogeshwara and Annamalai Swamigal. Every situation, I will think how he will behave, how he will respond, how he will react. So they became my grand narrative inside. See, you need a grand narrative, only then you can align your inner image to it. Need of the Guru itself is nothing but a need for grand narrative. Your need for Guru is nothing but your need of grand narrative. Whoever accepts me as Guru, for all of you I become the grand narrative without even telling. This is the way the grand narratives gets built. We had thousands of grand narratives in each locality. For example, whole Maharashtra, Jnaneshwar was the grand narrative, Sant Jnaneshwar. Whole Karnataka, Bhagavan Basavanna, he was the grand narrative. Whole Tamil Nadu, Jnana Sambandar, and few more saints who came after Jnana Sambandar. They were the grand narrative. If I look what can be the grand narrative of Hinduism? It cannot just be a concept. It has to be a person, very physical, down to earth, which people can perceive in their level and play with their visualization, use it to align themselves. If a concept can be a grand narrative of Hinduism, then seeking is the grand narrative of Hinduism. It just can't be seeking. We will have to demonstrate, show the grand narrative. Which can be cherished, enjoyed, visualized, played with your visualization, with which you can play with your visualization. Which can inspire you to align your inner image, which can remind you again and again the highest purpose of your existence, seeking, which can raise you to the space of seeking again and again. Hindus have denied the need for a grand narrative for last at least 200 years. We have not realized we need a grand narrative. That is the collective identity for all of us. We have not realized that not having the grand narrative is something wrong. We are trying to push this problem under the carpet, saying, no. If you create a grand narrative of Krishna, then all the Shaivites will be dropped out. If you create a grand narrative of Shiva, all the Vaishnavites will be dropped out. If you create the grand narrative of Devi, all the other traditions will be dropped out. If we think we are wrong, Hindus are intelligent enough to move from one Ishtadevata to another Ishtadevata. If you have not had at least 6-7 Ishtadevata, you are never a seeker. If you are a seeker, you would have had at least 6-7 Ishtadevatas. Because every time you evolve, you will connect with the next level of definition, grand narrative you received. If you received Mahadeva as the embodiment of enlightenment, as a description about him, at the age of 7 you may not have felt connected with him. At the age of 7 you need Ganesha who nicely eats and roams around and jumps. Maybe the grand narrative of Ganesha would have been more appealing for you. And at the age of 14 the grand narrative of Subramanya would have been more appealing for you. Youth, beauty, valor, vigor. Then maybe after you face 2-3 girlfriends, then you need Mahadeva. The grand narrative of enlightenment. You will simply feel connected. In the college, suspend after marriage husband. So at different times when you evolve, you will feel connected to the different grand narratives. Please understand. That is why the number of atheists in Hinduism is too low than in other religions. Because in other religions, they have only one grand narrative. If it does not match with you, if you don't feel connected, you simply become atheist. With us, it is not the case. We have 2000 grand narrative, and if you have a guru, he will made to order and give you. He will even make one new one for you. But this is not our weakness. Please understand. Soon you will see. Actually, I take the responsibility of creating a Hindu grand narrative. Soon, very soon, you guys will have all-inclusive but non-diluted. All-inclusive but undiluted. Because of inclusiveness, only becoming powerful, not having any powerlessness because of inclusiveness. We will discover and reveal the Hindu grand narrative to the world. We'll do it. We'll do it with integrity and authenticity. I only want to tell you all, Hindus not having grand narrative and not doing research and thinking in that line of need to have a grand narrative. Hindus not bothered about need to have a grand narrative is not right. Please understand, that is the biggest problem. The Hindu leaders are not even realizing we need a grand narrative. We need to spend a lot of time and energy into it, and we need to evolve it. It is unfortunate. Hindu visionaries and leaders are in self-denial, and they are trying to push the problem of Hindu grand narrative under the carpet. But that is running like a Tom and Jerry here and there, and coming back and biting the carpet and biting you. Not having the grand narrative is not right. It is time we spell out the Hindu grand narrative. Actually, if we can make 10,000 people enlightened without Hindu grand narrative, with Hindu grand narrative, we may be able to make easily 100,000 people enlightened. Because that takes away the people's depression. That takes away the people's fatigue. That takes away the people's boredom, I tell you. Now what I am saying, all of you can understand. It's not that I never fought with Arunagiri Yogeshwara. I had my own ups and downs with him. But every early morning, the moment I see him, everything is over. Just like what happens to you when the curtain opens? Not only the ups and downs I had with him, the ups and downs I have with the whole world, everything disappears. Now it is neither up nor down. It is all jing chak chick. It's all now. I tell you, human beings live in the intoxication of grand narrative. And the intoxication of grand narrative is required to go through forced depression by the stupid social narratives. See, society gives you some narratives. As a mother, you should be this, this, this. As a father, you should be this, this, this. As a brother, you should be this, this, this. This all forced on you, and your biomemory is made to believe. When you face some difficulty, problems, because of the social narratives about you, the intoxication of grand narrative takes away the depression. Understand? Grand narrative is the antidote for all the sufferings you created based on your social narratives. It is such powerful inspiration to remove your mental fatigue, tiredness, and boredom. I'll come back to you soon. Today I only wanted to introduce this concept of grand narrative and need for the grand narrative to keep your seeking up and alive and active. I'll come back to you with a Hindu grand narrative soon, which will keep your seeking up alive and make you enlightened. So, essence of today's satsang is the grand narrative is required to keep the seeking up and alive, and not having the grand narrative is not right, or trying to push that problem under the carpet is also not right. Grand narrative is required to keep your seeking up and alive. I wanted all over the world the Sangha to do Vakyartha Sadas. After reading the article by Raji Malhotra, the Hindu grand narrative, it is available in the Facebook, in the website. Read that and see my today's satsang. All over the world, I wanted the Sangha to do Vakyartha Sadas on the grand narrative, the Hindu grand narrative. Do Vakyartha Sadas. I'll get back to you guys with the Hindu grand narrative. With this, I bless you all. Let you all radiate with integrity, authenticity, responsibility, enriching, causing, living Shuddhadvaita Shaivam, the eternal bliss, Nithyananda. Thank you. Be blissful.
Nithyananda Dhyanapeetham, Nithyananda Nagar, off Mysore Road, Bidadi, Bengaluru. Phone 08027279999, www.nithyananda.org, www.youtube.com/lifeblissfoundation.